Quran condemned idol worship. Quran condemned do not worship the desire. Quran condemned do not worship statue, stone or human beings, right? So these are statement Quran, throughout the Quran, repetition of the, because Allah keep reminding that I am the only one who is the maker of the universe and you should worship me and do not worship those things. So if you save yourself from not worshipping the things he mentioned, then you will truly worship Allah.
So out of all the other documents that says that Jesus was crucified, you're saying that the Quran is the one that is saying the right thing?
No, I think historically we have other documents as well.
Okay.
You can call them heretics or whatever, you know. There is a group called Basilides.
Okay.
You can look it up when you go home. Yeah. Basilides, they also believe Jesus was not crucified.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And also, I mean, if you look at the Bible, the stories of the crucifixion, the event, right?
Okay.
So you will find the differences in the accounts, meaning the story is not exactly unique. So what Quran actually said is very amazing, right? Let me find out the verse, right? Because you are a sincere person, and we're having a friendly discussion, it's important that you should know the Muslim point, correct? So let's go back to the verse itself. We have a lovely weather after a long time, isn't it?
Sorry?
Weather is very good, isn't it? It's been a while, isn't it? MashaAllah.
Summer's almost.
Yeah.
Almost here.
So, you know where it is in the Quran, or do you know where it is in the Quran or no? You're familiar with this? Or? Not necessarily.
I'm not.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So the verse goes like that. Bismillah. وَقَوْلِهِمْ إِنَّا قَتَلْنَا الْمَسِيحَ عِيسَى بْنَ مَرْيَمَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ وَمَا قَتَلُهُ وَمَا صَلَبُهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ لَفِي شَقٍّ مِّنْهُ مَا لَهُ بِهِ مِنْ عِلْمٍ إِلَّا اتَّبَعَ الظَّنَّ وَمَا قَتَلُهُ يَقِينًا. So, and for boasting, we killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of Allah, but they neither killed nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so. So the popular belief amongst the Muslims is that a conspiracy was made to kill Jesus. Allah made a main culprit who betrayed Jesus look exactly like Jesus. So you will hear there's another theory called substitution theory. Go and home, Google it up.
But carry on that verse.
Yeah.
That verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus was raised safe and sound to the heaven. Muslims also believe in the second coming of these are the additional point. Even those who argue for crucifixion. Okay. So that's the main point. Those who argue for crucifixion are in doubt. So the word zon means assumption or doubt. Okay. Meaning, so when we have called something called knowledge and surety, what is the opposite of surety? Conjecture, assumption, right? So Allah used the term called zon. Zon and wama qataluhu yaqinan. He confirmed they killed him not. So here he stressed the point that no, they didn't kill him. So whenever we look at the totality of the message, Allah is telling that the event. Now when we look at the gospel account differences, that shows this word is confirmed, the word zon. If this is to the fact, then all of the account would have matched together. That shows the Quran exactly pinpointing through this word zon. Zon here, this is the most important word we don't reflect upon in this when we investigate that case.
Okay.
And then you can look it up, Basilides, other groups. And substitution theory where someone else, so the theories are out there. So the question is, in order to trust a source, we must know the validity of the source. Now if you take, let's say you isolate this verse, look at the Quran in a whole picture. If you feel that this is from Allah, this is from Allah, then you cannot deny that verse. Do you see my point?
I see your point. I see. You see, sorry, brother. I'm getting a phone call.
No
getting
problem.
Distracted. Look, but let me just pick up and then let me just ask you one more question.
Sure.
1 second. Sorry, my brother.
That's okay.
The Bible says the man does not know.
Why is he disturbing her preaching?
Sorry, say again?
Why is the imam disturbing her when she tried to preach?
You need to ask the imam. I don't know. I don't know who are you talking.
Oh, you are not together.
No. I don't know who are you talking about.
Because she was disturbing her.
Can you? I think he's raising a complaint. Can you deal with this complaint?
Huh?
Do you want to take him there? Because I was discussing. Do you want to have a discussion with him?
What's going on? What happened? There, that guy. He was listening.
How are you, brother? You okay?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Alright, so obviously, like I said, I don't have much knowledge.
That's okay.
I'm gonna look it up what you're saying.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving me that. So I got a question like that runs up to 3 questions, right? I got a question that runs up to 3 questions. So, can God's word be destroyed?
No, God's word cannot be destroyed.
God's word cannot be destroyed.
No.
And when He gives that word to a prophet, can it be everlasting? And can it prolong until the end?
Okay, I got your question.
Yeah?
I got your question.
Yeah.
So, when I send you information to you, so I have a copy of my information, and you have it. Now, if you cannot protect the information, does it mean that information destroyed?
If I can't protect it, it means that like I can't protect it.
Correct. But I have a copy.
Okay.
Right. When God is saying God's word cannot be destroyed, means when God communicated the message to the prophets, and then after prophet, the people He designated, they couldn't protect it. That does not mean the information is lost, because who is sending it? God. God is all aware. So the scripture is with Him. So when we talk about Bible, when we are saying Bible, when God sent the Injil, by the way, we Muslim believe Injil is the revelation given to Jesus Christ. The Bible we say today is not exactly the Injil, but however, we believe there are a lot of truth in it, and there are a lot of false in it. So it gets corrupted.
It can't be though, because
do you know how? How do you know how?
If that's the case, if the Injil is the word of Allah, and the Quran is also the word of Allah, wouldn't that make it equal?
Yes. So that,
and wouldn't that mean that like someone can corrupt the Quran?
I think maybe you didn't hear my point. What I said is, when Jesus received that book, Injil, Jesus didn't receive this Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Jesus received an Injil, which is the good news. When often Christians try to misunderstand our point, when we're talking about Injil, is the revelation Jesus received, not written by Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, they heard the stories, and then they are not even companion of the Jesus. They are not even eyewitnesses, right? We do not even know who exactly they are. So when we are attributing these stories in the Bible, we do not say this is exactly what Jesus narrated to them. So they picked up some of the truth and some of the false also been combined together. And that's why there is an I mentioned to you, the differences in the accounts of Mark, Matthew, Luke and John in terms of crucifixion and resurrection, right? If it is so true, then it should have, all of them should have been unique, and there should not be any differences of opinion there. So when we're talking about God, what cannot be destroyed, means even if a human destroyed it, it's with God. So we should not misunderstand that. Yeah.
So I got a last question.
Does it make sense though?
It makes sense. It makes sense.
It makes sense. Okay, fine.
So because you're basically saying that like Jesus had his own message that was put down to him, but not the Mark, John, Luke,
correct,
and Matthew.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're basically saying that. Okay, so one last question.
Sure.
Is anything impossible for Allah?
When we say impossible, we say God does godly things. So for example, if you say, can God create a stone which he cannot lift? We say, why we should not tell or dictate what God can do or what he can't do. He do based on godly attributes. Say for example, can God go to the toilet? I said no. Why? Because it does not suit him. Because defecating, urinating, these are someone who depend on food. If someone does not eat food, does not drink, he does not need to go to the toilet. So exactly. So therefore we say God, anything that does not befit God, that's not the character of God.
I agree, but when you not say that's our carnal mind.
Sorry, say again?
You not say that's our carnal, that's our mind, like that's our mindset, because like I don't know if it's in the Quran, but it says that God's thoughts are not the same thoughts as us. Right?
Correct.
So meaning that like we can assume of anything about God or Allah or anything like that, and say that like, oh, Allah will never be able to touch that tree because it does not suit him, it's not his nature.
Right.
But my question is anything impossible for Allah? Because even if, like, you're telling me that like he cannot enter the boundaries of a human being because it's impossible for him, because that doesn't suit his nature.
The question is, can he enter into the creation? He can, but it does not suit him to come. So we are not saying he does not have the ability.
Okay.
What we are saying is it does not befit his majesty. For example, this is where Islam, we talked about Tawheed, oneness of God.
Okay.
So the oneness of God, the nature of God, how God. So for example, God said, Laisa ka mislihi shay. There is nothing comparable to God. And we have 4-line definition of God. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say Allah is one. Allahu samad. He is self-sufficient. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He does not beget nor he is born. Meaning, if you want, he can. But he said lam yalid. This doesn't apply to him. So revelation, through our imagination we know God is perfect and he can't be imperfect and perfect at the same time. So through revelation he also confirms that lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. There is nothing comparable to God. So that negates all the possibility that in English we call it anthropomorphism, right? Look it up. You know this term, yeah?
But so that
are you familiar with this anthropomorphism?
No.
Okay, look it up. That's we comparing human attribute with a God attribute.
Okay.
What we are saying is, if God is unlike human being, then we cannot equate with human being action with God's action.
Okay.
Therefore, we have to look into what God do and what God does and who God is. Then we'll be able to distinguish who God is and what he wants and what is applied. And this is where we have the whole Quran, we have called something called Tawheed, the oneness of God. Explain everything.
Okay. Do you believe in the Torah?
Yeah.
Like, do you believe the Torah is corrupted? Is it today's Torah?
So when we say Torah, we're talking about the book that revealed by Moses. Right? Of course, Moses didn't have, Moses didn't sign it off and given it to someone. People heard the story just like Bible, right? The same way we say by New Testament is have true, good and bad in it. We also believe there are some truth in the Torah, but there are also corruption in there. So
Why do you say that?
because Allah mentioned in the Quran.
That there's corruption in the
Yes,
Torah?
yes.
Okay, but did he not say that you should, if you want knowledge, you should go to the book of the Torah and the book of the Injil?
So I think that we need to understand the context.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a context when Prophet Muhammad was preaching in Mecca.
Yeah.
Preaching in Mecca.
Yeah.
So he was preaching to the pagan people.
Yeah.
And they don't have a concept of prophets. Mean God can send a human being.
Okay.
So Allah revealed that verse so that go and check it out. That is the concept of God sending human being as a prophet. Is it a new concept? It's not about teaching the books. It's about can God communicate through a human being to confirm that. It's not about learning the religion. No, God is sending the Quran. This is telling the pagan because it's a strange concept. Imagine if we have a strange concept. I would say go to this person because he's familiar with the concept. Then he will tell you, no, we have heard this concept before. So this is what the question is. It's not about, okay, go and learn from the people of the book. No. Go and tell, they know the Jacob, Isaac, Jesus, Moses, all. God sent prophets and messengers. We do not, none of the three religions deny that. God sent communication. So pagan are completely unaware because they doing idol worship, right? Means statues and stone. So this is where they said, oh, if you are unsure, go and people of the book. This is for that context only. If you read the verses, just prior verses.
I'll check it out. Thank you very much.
But look it up. This is in the Quran. I wish you the best. But look, what you have asked the question. To me, as a sincere brother, I would say this is to defend the Christianity.
Okay.
I would say to my brother, as a sincere brother, look, we are not even here a debate. We're having a nice conversation. You are a great human being, and we're talking like a human being. All we need to care about, who brings the truth? Is it Islam truth, Judaism truth, Christianity truth? Look at all of their claim. Take your biased mind out, if you are sincere. And then, look at the concept of God in Islam. Look at the concept of God in Christianity. Look at the concept of justice in Islam. Look at the concept of justice in Christianity. Look at the concept of morality in Islam. Look at the concept of morality in Christianity. Then, when you look at the totality, all the main point, then you decide for yourself. But I say any search have to be fair. You need to look, compare and contrast. Otherwise, you would not know what is good and bad. How do you know we have the good package if I don't compare? So, do you mind if I give you a copy of the Quran as a gift?
I'll have to decline on that one.
Okay, no problem.
But thank you very much.
I was appreciate that. But you can look it up. You can find it online, Quran, and there are website you can find answer. But visit the Muslim website. There are a lot of websites. They can confuse you. They can mislead you. Not from the Muslim sources. There are a lot of Islamophobic sites are there, and they propagate incorrect information about our religion. And any research must be unbiased. Now, in order to learn Christianity, I should not learn from a Muslim. I should go to Christian school. The same way, in order to learn Islam, we should go from our sources, not from the Christian sources.
I understand that.
Yeah, got it. Yeah? Look after yourself. Thank you. You have a lovely day. How are you?
Right. I have a good one for you, Aziz. Right.
Yeah.
So I am getting married
Yeah.
to my husband, or to be my husband Tahir, and
Are you Muslim already?
no, I'm going to take my Muslim vows the night before my wedding.
Sure.
Right. But there are certain things I'm concerned about with fertility. He wants children. And I've gone to get test results, and I'm not sure, depending on what the results will be, is I might need a surrogate, but that's haram.
Sorry, say again?
surrogate for a baby, someone to carry the baby.
Ah, okay.
I can't. But that's haram.
To be honest, I don't have the knowledge in this field. No, I don't have. So maybe you can speak to, you know,
It's about
go to do you know East London Mosque?
My eggs. If it's my eggs, don't think it's haram. It's her eggs.
Look, I tell you, sister, one thing.
Yeah?
In Islam, we are not allowed to talk without knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So I don't have any room for opinion here. When God's books